Today, I'm going to be giving you a closer look at this TENS unit from A-Body. It's a muscle stimulator and massager. This is a lengthier video here today, so feel free to look at the video notes down below and skip around to what you want to see. I'm going to start out showing you the unboxing of this product, then I'm going to give you a closer look of what the screen display looks like, and then I'm going to be using the product. And I also go through each and every one of these modes while I'm using the product and try to describe to you in my own words what each mode feels like. Let's turn this TENS unit on. The power button is on the side. You have to hold it in kind of for a second there. Right away we see a clock right here for a timer. We see our battery meter, and we see the screen with many different options for different types of massage here. This button down here at the center, when we press this, will lock, and it puts the key up there to show you that it's locked in place. So if you're using this and you've got this working on your body, you don't accidentally bump something and then change it, you can lock it. So then anytime you press a button, nothing's going to change on your program. So this also comes with a guide for acupuncture treatment points. And how that works is it'll tell you for various things, anything from mumps to menstrual pain to migraine. I'm just looking at that little list right there. Shin splints, I mean, just, there's even one on here for eczema. So for eczema, that's interesting, 77. And then you turn it over on the chart here and find in the chart, let me find 77. Right here. So apparently this is the acupuncture point for eczema, just on the inside of the thigh there, that you want to put those little paddles on. Do treatments there. So it doesn't tell you anything more specific other than with this guide where to put them on your body. This unit also has two outputs. You can see A and B, and it comes with two separate cords. So you can have two sets of paddles working on two different places at the same time. And we're gonna look at the different modes. So mode one right here in the corner is for tapping, scraping, bodybuilding, I don't know what that means, knocking, and waveforms. Mode 2 is your acupuncture. So that has acupuncture, foot therapy, trigger points, lomi waveforms. And mode 3 is for strike reflexology, tai chi, nudge, massage, waveforms. Mode 4 contains kneading, butterfly, shiatsu, deep stretching waveforms. 5 is for cupping, sports, Swedish, Thai waveforms, and 6 is for rubbing, assorted stepping, auto waveforms. Right, I'm breaking out the TENS unit today. Yesterday I did a lot of high impact cardio, and thanks to a knee injury, my knees especially are where I'm using this TENS unit. I'm gonna do both knees at the same time. Another thing with high impact cardio that I sometimes end with is like a little shin pain or shin splints if I'm running. So for that, you can put the electrodes right here or on the back side. Okay, so for knee pain, the recommended places are putting 2 electrodes on the outside of the patella, which is my personal favorite. You can also come down here for knee pain, or you can go on the outside. Always make sure when you're using these to peel this off. You're also supposed to take a damp rag and go over it. I just recently showered, so I'm supposed to take a damp rag and wipe over the black part to remove any oils or whatever so that this sticks on here nicely. Peel this off. Never put it on there and use it with these pads or with the plastic pieces still on. That's just supposed to protect them. These pads right here are sticky and nice. Also, when you peel them off and you're going to come back to it later, you're going to take a little break in between, you can peel them off and put them onto this little board. So this will keep them nice. It will stick on there on either side, and then you can peel them off and put them back on. We're going to do another session with it. Okay. So never start anything without those being on. So when you come to the timer, it's automatically, sorry, no, you can't see that. It's automatically set for 20 minutes, but if you press right here, I'm just pushing on the timer, go up to 30, 40, 50, 60, and then it goes down to 10, and back to 20. For my purposes today, I typically will do a 20-minute session. That's good for me, depending on what I'm doing. I'm gonna set it on 10 right now, and probably change what I'm doing to do 10 more later. Then you select what you want, and there's a couple options on each one. So on each place that you can click there's 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, so I'm going to select 4. And then you have 2 different intensity dials, so I can turn one side up more than the other. So A and B operate separately. So here's your push for A. If you push this, it'll go up. And if you push this, that will go up. So I'm going to go through the different modes and try to describe to you what it is that I feel. I realize it's not a visual thing that you can really experience, but I'm going to go through the first one right here in the corner, which is mode 1, contains tapping, scraping, bodybuilding, whatever that is, knocking, and waveforms. So I'm going to click on that one on 1. And once you set it, it takes the level back down really low. So once you choose a new one, it takes it down low. So I'm going to, at the same time, turn up intensity, try to describe what it feels like. So it starts out really gentle, and then grows in intensity, feels like squeezing, and then completely releases. Grows, squeezing, and then release. Grow, squeeze, and release. That's what it feels like. It feels like it's squeezing in along that area, and then releasing. Squeeze, and it gradually builds up in intensity, and then releases. All right, so that's number 1 on this particular one. And I'm gonna go to 2. And every time I switch here, it takes the level way down. So you're never gonna turn it on and it gets like, it's too high and that one's really, really uncomfortable. It always starts down really low, so I'll turn it up. This one right here feels like little pricks. So it's going tap, 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 tap. Release. Tap, 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 tap. And that tapping is growing in intensity. So it starts light, tap, 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 and releases. Tap, 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 and releases. Is this helpful to you? No, you just get to the end. Okay, so I'm going to switch now to number 3. And I'm going to turn it up. So this feels like a little squeeze pinch. This one really feels like a pulse. It's like, and it's steady without a break in between. So it's thump, 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 thump. So you can really work the same area and switch it up all the time, or find that thing that works perfect for you. There's not a whole lot of description in here, like if you're suffering from this pain, this is the format that you should use. It just tells you the areas in which to put it, and you can just kind of play around. All right, so I'm going to number 4. And again, it goes back to the low level, and I'm going to turn it up. I really like this one. This one feels good on me. It kind of goes, so it feels like squeeze, squeeze, and again it grows in intensity, So it feels like something is going like this, like a scraping motion. And it gets harder towards the end. Slight break in between. Good, okay. I'm going over to this next one over here. Mode 2 contains acupuncture, foot therapy, trigger point, lomi waveforms. I probably pronounced that wrong. All right, so I'm going over number 1. So it feels like a prick, 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 zzz, squeeze. So it's like a tap, like a point, 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 squeeze. And then with a release and break in between. And the nice thing about these levels is if I'm needing higher on one leg rather than the other, or I've got this working on 2 different points, you have to stay on the same mode. So the same mode applies for both A and B, but you can change the level of intensity on either side. So I can't individually pick what mode I want for one and a different mode for the other. It's the same mode, but I can change the level on here. I'm going to number 2 right here. Turn it up. It's hard for me to feel what's going on at first. Whew, now this feels like little needles. So it goes tap, 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 tap. Still tapping, and then like prick, 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 prick. These are interesting to describe. So it feels like one needle on each side, and then a whole bunch of needles going all at once. All around. And then you have a little break where just little pricks, little pricks, little pricks. And then tap, 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 tap. Okay, number 3. Woo! This one has a break, and then it's that squeezing, like I can feel those muscles tense up. So it's just a little break and then squeeze, release. Squeeze, release. Now when I was in physical therapy and hooked up to a really big TENS unit machine, this is what it would do. It would make all my muscles like tense up all over the place. This is exactly what that feels like. Squeeze. And it grows intensity. It's a pretty long bout. Yeah, I like that one because that's what I remember working on my knee. Okay, number 4. This feels like the same squeezing motion, but squeeze, release. Squeeze, release. Squeeze, release. So kind of a different tempo there. Okay, coming down to mode 3, over here on the left. This one contains strike, reflexology, tai chi, nudge, massage, waveforms. Okay, so let's turn it up. Wow. This again feels like what I would do in physical therapy. So it starts out really, there's a nice break in between really, really light, squeeze, squeeze, squeezing, really squeezing and intensifying right there and holding for a long period of time and then gradually tapering off. Then you've got a nice break in between. So this can get pretty intense in the middle. So it starts light, grows, 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 grows. Very intense right now. And then right here starts to subside and lessen out. So this can be very intense. So if you're doing a shorter period and you want it to be more intense, it grows, 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 grows. And then you've got that high intensity lasts for several seconds and then releases. Whoops, my timer went off. Okay. So when your timer goes off, it just shuts the whole thing off. So we'll leave it on 20 minutes and keep going. Okay, so that was number 1. I'm 3 here. And now I'm going to switch to 2. So this feels pretty similar. It starts out light and gradually intensifies to really intense and then just subsides right away. So rather than holding there at that tight level, it grows and it's intense and then backs off. So it feels kind of more like a wave right there. All right, number 3. This feels similar to both of those, only it goes from light to intense really quickly and then holds intense, 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 and then just backs off. So rather than gradually, it gets there much faster and holds there at that tightness and then lets go. Squeeze really, really, really intense right now and gone. Starts really intense already and stops. Okay, number 4. Kind of starts off dull, goes to more intense right there, and then washes back out. starts out dull, climbs up intense, 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 and now it's backing off. And there's a big pause in between. Now it's starting again, growing in intensity, super intense right here. And now it's backing off, slowly backing off. It stays pretty light, large break in between. So it's really like the level of intensity, how gradually it gets there. And then it stays on a light intensity, and then a large break in between. Okay, mode 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, coming over here. This one contains kneading, butterfly, shiatsu, deep stretching waveforms. Okay, so let's start with 1. This is like growing, and then, ooh, it feels like, ooh, squeezing back and forth, feels like that shiatsu. Right, so it's growing in intensity, and then it feels like someone going like this. And then stops completely. There's a little gradual building, and then heavy, 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 and then completely stops. Very cool. All right, number 2 on this mode. This feels really similar to the other shiatsu one, but this one, instead of feeling really intense, it feels like individual little needle pricks. It's really interesting, all the different sensations you can get. So it's like still going, and then stops. It's starting, but it feels like just little individual, instead of really heavy like this, it feels like little individual pulses. Going, 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 going. It feels really nice. And then releasing right there. Cool, I like it. Okay, number 3. Some of these you can turn up pretty intense, and there's others that you don't need it too intense at all. Oh my gosh. So this feels like the little individual needle pricks, like last time, only it gets much more intense. So it feels like, and then stops. So it builds, and then really, really intense, and then backs off. Builds really intense, and then backs off. So it's kind of like the waves of those sensations. All right, number 4 on mode 4. This feels more of like the squeezing. So you kind of got that motion where it feels like this, but it feels more like a squeeze. Squeeze. Intense right here, holding the tense, and then gone. So it's gradually building up, more and more pressure, squeeze, and then complete release. All right, moving on to mode 5, which contains cupping, sports, Swedish, Thai waveforms. Okay, so mode 5 right here, and I'm on a 1. So you really have, you've got 4 options in each mode, and gosh, you can just do a bunch of different things. Okay, this one right here, there's a long break in between, and then this is gentle building, and it feels like little pinpricks here, and then slow release. Big break in the middle. So it starts out really, really light, and it feels like squeezing, and then at the real intensity, it feels like individual pinpricks, and then it's gradually going off. Do you feel like you're having this experience with me? This is helpful. Maybe not, but this is fun. So I'll tell you exactly what it feels like. Wow. Woo! So this feels like a squeeze, and you can also feel like little individual pulse points here. So it starts out gradually, builds up, and you can feel those little pulse points, and then it stops altogether. Gradually, individual little bricks, and then stops. Okay, number 3. Wow, you can see my kneecap moving over here. Can you see? It's completely engaging muscle. So I got these a little low. If I had them up higher, you would see, yeah, you would see this entire area moving, which I'm helping and digging in there. Good, so it's actually making my patella flex here. Again, I remember feeling motions like this in physical therapy when you use this. Remember not to pull them off and adjust them while it's going. Turn it off first, for obvious reasons, right? So it's squeezing squeeze, very intense, and then backing off. So you got a little build up, squeeze, and you can feel it making your muscles flex, and then off. Open up, squeeze. Oh yeah, really breathe deep into that one. I've got it turned up pretty high too. Squeeze, yes. And I can feel like involuntary motion in my legs as a result from this one. Whew, that one's good. That one's effective. Okay, number 4. How to describe this one. This feels like little pulses, little pulses, little pulses, and it's building quite strong and holding out strong and then releasing. So I can feel that making those muscles like tighten up. And it doesn't feel like tiny little pinpricks, but does feel like individual locations where it's squeezing. Yeah, this is making like my legs relax so much. So it's really intense when it's going. Even just jumping from different plan to different plan on here. When it releases, like I can feel soreness and inflammation before my knee, so it's a little bit sore, but like when that pressure stops, I don't even know how to describe it, like my entire knee and leg just feels really good. Good, it's almost like the way your muscles relax if you were to soak in a tub for a long period of time. You're just like completely relaxed. That's what it feels like after just a couple minutes with this on. So it can be a little intense to get used to. So start at lower levels and work your way up. And then pretty soon, like that high intensity will feel good because when the release comes, it feels amazing. Okay, we've got one more mode, mode 6. This contains rubbing, assorted stepping, auto waveforms. Okay, so coming into mode 6. Let's see what this is like. So, in a lot of them, there's kind of like subtle differences. Ooh, this is very interesting in here. So it really changes. It feels like little pinpricks, and then like stabbing pinpricks. And then, tense. And then you feel this pulsing and then this beautiful wave. So some of that might be a little bit uncomfortable, but it really changes in this one throughout. So yeah, mode 6, number 1, you kind of get the best of all the different things in here. Oh yeah, that's crazy because it really changes. Ooh, I love that like vibration feeling. So right here, it starts out feeling like little pinpricks just here and here. And then they get more intense, and then it really pulses and it's like stop, and then it goes into this beautiful like vibration where it's high intensity, but it feels really, really good. Especially following how the little pricks feel. Like really, really intense. And then it goes into this beautiful rub. It's amazing. Oh my gosh. That feels like very intense. Good. Okay, number 2. Okay, this one right here, you have like light pricking sensation. And then this gentle rubbing. Okay, how can I describe this? Prick. And then there's a pause in the middle. And then it feels like this growing sensation of a rub. So it starts light and then gets more intense. So prick, and it kind of intensifies as it goes with a pause. And then rubbing, that feels like it's rubbing in and getting more intense. That one also feels nice. It's a good combination. Okay, number 3. I tried a couple of different TENS units, and I really love all the different options on here. It's number 3. Oh. And it feels like it's gradually getting more intense, everyone. Long break in between, so it's kind of rubbing in, and then you get that pricking and squeezing sensation, and then it subsides. Starting up again, pricking, really tight, really engaging right there, and then slowly subsides off. So it kind of feels like it starts with like a little rub, and then gets to individual pricking right there, and then goes to a rub and subsides off. All right, number 4. Oh my. So you can see this one making my kneecap move over here. Ooh, right there, squeezing in and releasing out. So I have to describe this sensation. Feels like kind of like rubbing and then like the pin pricking again, and then just kind of stops. So it feels like a little rubbing, and then you start to feel little pricks, and then really squeezing with the pricks, and then releasing a little bit and just stopping. It looks like a little cell phone. It charges like a little cell phone. It's convenient and easy. Everything packs up into this tiny box. Whew. You can even put it into this little thing that has a clip, so you can clip it onto yourself. It's pretty nice. Right, so just slide it into here, and then clip it on you. So if you want it to be walking around or carrying it with you, you can do that. Okay, so if I were, say, going to now take a break and do this again in an hour, I could just put these pads, pull them off, and it protects the sticky pads. You never want to lay them out so like dust and things get on them. You always want to have them covered, and I could even keep the electrodes on there, so then I just peel them off and put them back on so they can go. Now it only comes with one. It would be nice if there were two, but you can go like that, and then you can wrap the cord around here. There's a little area where the cord wraps around. So you can store them like that if you wish, if you have pads that work there. You can put the little ones on there. These big ones don't fit on there. They're just made specifically for these side, and obviously the small ones can go on there. Oh my gosh, you just have to watch this. So I did high intensity shoulder, chest, and back workout today, and I've got this on my upper back, and I'm not tensing up my muscles at all. I'm just relaxed. Oh my gosh, it really feels like somebody just digging in there. Can you see this? Amazing. My own personal masseuse. Look. Oh, vibrating. Oh, cancel the massage, folks. Just buy one of these. It's like a masseuse is like digging in, really digging in there from the inside of your skin. Well, that sounds creepy and weird. Merciful heavens. I love this particular TENS unit so much. I've been loving using this, and I am of the opinion that everybody should have a TENS unit in their homes. This particular one is $39.99, and I got it on Amazon. I'm attaching the product link in my write-up below. Check out my channel for more of these product review videos, as well as bar and Pilates workout videos and positive affirmations. Thanks for watching, and be sure to subscribe to my channel.